Shalom, this is the I.S.U.P.K under Commanding General YAHANNA. Today's class is the scripture breakdown class, meaning if there's a scripture you do not understand, in this class we break them down, hence why it's called scripture breakdown class. You know what I mean? So if you believe, John 3:16 means God so loved the world, in this scripture breakdown class we'll show you what the world means, and that God does not love the world as in what you may think it means. You know what I mean? If you believe that the Gentiles can be saved in the context of non-Israelites, we'll show you that in the Bible, when it talks about the Gentiles, it's talking about Israelites that lost their way. That's what it means. And of course, anything else that you would like as well. So, all you gotta do is on the Facebook, the YouTube, and the Twitter, just ask, you can write in what you like. You know what I mean? You be nice, we'll be nice. You know what I mean? So, you come with respect, we will be the same way too. You know what I mean? Just ask and we'll take it from there. So, the topic of today is, basically it's the holiday that's gonna be tomorrow. You know what I mean? It's gonna be Christmas. So we're gonna get into a breakdown on that and why people like it and they know it's wrong. So we're gonna get into that in the Bible. We got articles and the history as well. And then we're gonna get into a few other things as well. Volume. It's got a buzzing sound. One, yeah, it's fine. I think it's like sometimes it's like the phone. I don't know why. All right, Kanye. So we're working on that sound in the back. 1 second, bear with me.
Can you still hear it?
Okay, can you hear that sound now? If there's nothing that's going against this sound, please give me a con, give me a yes or a 1 in the chat, please.
Yeah, she's taking it a bit better.
We get now. All right, perfect. Just send everyone the link as well.
Oh
yeah. Yeah. Brother. Yeah. All right, so yeah, links sent out. So yeah, we're gonna get into that as well. So yeah, basically we'll start. So now one question you like to ask people. Salakia Shamga, you should just answer this for me. So what? So one thing people like to ask is if people know that Christmas is a pagan holiday, then why do people still like this day? Why do people come with their family and they eating the turkey and all those things? Why?
Yeah.
When that this is a pagan holiday. We live in the time of the internet, and with the internet it says many things, man. And regardless of what religion you are in, regardless of what you believe, that Christmas is a pagan holiday.
Right.
So now a question you might want to ask is, why do people still like this day? Why do they still, want to take a part of a day that they know is not even real, man? The Messiah wasn't even born on the 25th of December. That's common knowledge, man. You know what I mean? It's all over the internet, YouTube. People make blogs about it. So why would people still partake in a pagan holiday? And we're gonna get into that in the Bible in a second as well. And then today, what you're gonna understand is the same way people of this day, it's the same thing that it doesn't want to make them take the vaccine. And do you know what it is? They're afraid of life, man. You know what I mean? One thing you're gonna learn today is people like death. It sounds mad. It sounds like really people like death. Yes, they do, man. People like to do things that they know they might die for it, but because of lust, they're willing to do it anyway, man. They know there's a possibility that the results of this, it will be death. But you know what? I'm gonna do it till the day that I die, man. And that's what you're gonna realize today, man. You know what I mean? People are afraid not to take part in this, in the pagan holiday. It's like, it's a thing like, if you don't, something's wrong with you. And even the people that do, you can break it down where, it's not in the Bible at all. And they know it's nothing far-fetched. It's nothing far and wide. But guess what? They're afraid that they don't want to be left out. They're afraid that, they don't want to be the odd one out. And you're going to understand that really they are afraid of living, man. It's people that want to die. Just like with the vaccine, I know everyone's been going on about the vaccine, but look, you ain't a doctor, man. You mean in school you got F's and E's, man, and now there's a scientist, and you're gonna tell a scientist what is in a vaccine? How do you know about pork in vaccines? How do you know? You ain't there when it's been made. All you can do is go by what the experts say, man. You mean I'm not a doctor, so what would I do? I would listen to a doctor, man. It makes common sense. I'm not a mechanic, so do you know what I do? I listen to a mechanic, man. You mean, of course, I weigh him or her out, see if they're trying to rob me. But if they, but you know what I mean, if it's something I don't know, you go to a professional. If you don't know nothing about vaccines, do you know what you do? Go to the professionals, man. You mean you're on YouTube because in that vaccine they got pork and dead babies, and says who? You ain't a scientist. You ain't been to know. You ain't had no education in that sector, so you shouldn't really be talking about it, man. And that's the problem. And really, all it comes down to, it's like the class today. People love death, and they try to make it seem like I don't, but deep down you really do, man. Everything good? Suck it. You gotta turn the speaker on there. It's gotta be on them aux. So you first switch it on. Oh, it's on. It's 12. Most sound correct. Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatha. Good to see you.
Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatam. Slacking my lighting is not good. I'm at my mom's.
No sweat, man. You like the guy with you doing like the hide the face and like my name is Raul. The mystery Israelite, this is calling that for today. Got Hakian up in here as well. Shalom, Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai, Barakatha. Everything good? All right, man. So we're gonna get into it. So first, we're gonna read in Proverbs 8 and 36, man. We're gonna understand something about life, and really deep down, people love death. You know what I mean? They swear they don't, but they really do, man. So we're gonna get Proverbs 8 and 36.
Proverbs 8, verse 36. But he that sinneth against me wrongeth his own soul.
So now, what does the Bible say? If you sin against the Lord, you wrongeth your own soul. What is your soul? You, man. Meaning, when you sin against the Lord, you hurt yourself, man.
That's right.
And that's what you see in this day and age. People that love to hurt themselves. The Lord is hurting you, and you don't stop doing what you're doing, man. The Lord's giving you STDs, the clap, gonorrhea, and you still can't leave those escorts alone, man.
Right.
You wrong your own soul and you can't stop. That is people that love death, man. And what you're going to realize when it comes to vaccines and the pagan holidays is people that love death. Subconsciously, it's a people that love to die, even though in their mind they think they don't. Slakia, someone had something.
No, sorry. I think I'm just taking a call.
No sweat. Read on.
So it was Proverbs 8:36.
All they that hate me loveth death.
And there you go, man. All those that hate me love death. And what you realize in this empire, people love death, man. They swear, you know me, I love my life. I'm you know me, I'm gonna live my life to the best of my ability. And deep down, they love death, man. If you can't leave weed alone, deep down, you love death, man. If you can't leave some prostitutes alone, you love death, man. If you can't leave sin alone, inside you, deep down, you love death. You want to die, and you don't even know it, man. In the Bible, you know what I mean, when Yahushua was on the earth, what happened, man? Anytime someone was possessed with the demons they had, what did it make him do? Want to harm himself, man. Want to die. And that's something people don't understand. With the demon they have in them, it makes them want to die too, man. And all of that being afraid of vaccines, inside you, really, you want to die, man. I mean, people make it seem so far and wide. And you know what's funny? In the UK, no one said you must take the vaccine, you know. No one said that. All they're saying is, if you want to, go ahead. If you don't want to, no sweat. And people get upset. Like as if, you mean you can't have your own opinion? You mean we are all adults in here, man? As adults, people have opinions, man.
Right.
It's like with the UPK, you can't talk for a vaccine. And we're not even saying you must take the vaccine. If you want to be in this school, you better take the vaccine tonight, man. Nobody said that. And you're online, see, you lot saying take the vaccine. Yes. And why? Because guess what? We go by what the experts say, man. A lot of those people on YouTube, they're not experts telling you what's in the vaccine, what the vaccine's going to make you do. Says who? And that's why for those of you that you didn't watch Black Watch on the Monday night, I recommend you watch it, man. You're going to find out what is really in them vaccines. I know what you've heard. It's a myth, man. It's just YouTube fear, man. People are afraid of things they don't know. But read on in Proverbs.
Verse chapter 9 now, Salakia, yeah?
Oh, Slakin, that's it and that. I thought there was more. There isn't. But yeah, but listen, all those that hate the Lord, they love death, man. Subconsciously, they love death, even though deep down they think they don't, man. Give me Deuteronomy 30 and 19. Deuteronomy 30 and 19.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 30 and verse 19. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore, choose life.
And there you go, man.
Thou,
No. So now, listen, man. The Lord said before us, He put life and death, meaning it's a blessing and a curse. If we choose life, we get blessings. If we choose death, it's a curse, man. And again, you know what I mean? That's an option right there. And what people subconsciously don't know is that every day they pick death, man. When you don't serve the Lord, when you celebrate pagan holidays, listen, we got an article up next, and it's going to show that people choose death. If people have this information available, it shows you clearly that they choose death, man. So now the Bible says, listen, the Lord wants us to choose life, man. And guess what? Without knowing it, we choose death. Anytime we don't serve the Lord, anytime we don't stick to his laws, statutes, and commandments, we are choosing death. And you know what I mean? We don't even know it, man. Read on.
Khan. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live.
And there you go, man. And guess what? The Lord said this. If you want to live, just pick that life, man. Don't make it difficult. Don't make it complicated. If you want to live, then if you want life, then guess what, man? Just pick life, man. Just do what I want you to do, and you will live, man. And that's the problem. While everyone's scared of vaccines, they're gonna celebrate a pagan holiday tomorrow, man. And they're gonna get death because of it. And if you think I'm lying, we got an article that's gonna break it down, man. We got an article that's gonna break it down. And I mean, it's nothing we wrote, man. The oppressor, he knows this, and we're gonna show you. So if you can screen share the article that we got. That's the one. Also, I don't do it like that usually, but if it works, then no sweat. That's the one. Yeah, definitely.
This is the Daily Mail.
No sweat.
The Daily Mail. Why this is the most dangerous time of the year. Death rates peak on Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and the New Year.
There you go, man. Those are people that have chose death, man.
Right.
You wonder why? Imagine this. Imagine the oppressor. He knows that. You mean all year round, particularly on these days have the highest death rates, man. Now, I'm going to blow your mind. This article is 8 years old. It's not new information, man.
Right.
And imagine that, man. Even the oppressor, he knows on these pagan holidays that basically these days have the highest death rates, man. He knows it. And why? Because these are people that chose death, man.
That's right.
In this day and age, everyone has the internet. If you don't have a laptop, you got your phone, and everyone knows Christmas is a pagan holiday, man. Boxing Day is a pagan holiday, man. New Year's Day, that's also a Roman pagan holiday. And guess what? When you don't want to serve the Lord and you want to opt for a day like that, you choose death, man.
That's right.
If you piss the Lord off, you will find it, man. And that's something we need to understand. We know that these so-called holidays are wrong, but yet we still take part. Why? Because subconsciously, us as a nation, we love death, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? And you know what's funny? You can ask someone, but you know, it's not a biblical holiday. And they say they know, man.
Right.
The man, he knows it's wrong, and he's doing it, man. Inside his house, he's got the weed and the tree in his house, man. He got the ganja and the tree next to it, man.
Right.
He might even smoke that too, man. By the time it's done, man. Then,
smoke trees and then smoke trees.
That's right. Then you got the Jehovah's Witness, man. You know what I mean? They celebrate this day and they know it's not biblical. 7-day Adventist. What's some other ones? The Pentecostals, man. All these denominations of religions, even the Muslims, they know that Christmas is a pagan holiday. You mean? And you know what's funny? They use that holiday to get people out of reading a Bible, to read their book, but yet they celebrate it too. It's Christmas, sun worship, but then you celebrate it too. You're in England celebrating a pagan holiday, which even your book says it's wrong.
Right.
And that's how you know that, you know what I mean? Deep down, people love death, man. Don't get me wrong, they're off already, but there's something in the air where subconsciously people just want to die.
Right.
Read on.
The highest death rates on Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and New Year's Day. There you
go, man. So now it's nothing we're making up. On these pagan holidays have the highest death rates, man. And now, for time's sake, no. But I mean, basically, in the article we're reading, it's not just restricted to England, even in America. On these days, that have the highest death rates all year round. Imagine this. We got 365 days in a year. And you know what I mean? No one dies more than in these 3 days, man. Showing you that the Lord ain't with it, man.
That's right.
Reader.
Yeah. God. Yeah, and it's the spirit that's behind it is the spirit of death, innit? You know what I'm saying?
There you go, man. You know what I mean? So on face value, it seems like it's a spirit of, be happy, enjoy yourself. But subconsciously, it's people that want to die, man.
That's right.
Reader.
Includes increase in deaths from cancer and the circulatory problems.
So now, anyone that has a disease, especially on either of these 3 days, they tend to die of it, man.
Right.
So meaning, you mean it was a fight all year round, but for some reason, on one of these 3 days, any disease or any illness that someone has, they tend to die in one of these 3 days, man.
Right.
Reader.
The figures hold true for all age groups except for children.
Except for kids. So basically, it's predominantly the adults that die out of one of these 3 days. Reader.
Trend could be caused by stress, overindulgence, or cold weather.
And there you go, man. So now let's look at some of that, man. So trends could be caused by stress. Meaning what, man? You're dressing yourself out, trying to get a tree in the house, man.
Right.
You're trying to get your son the new Ben 10 bike, man. You're trying to, you're trying to get your son the new PlayStation 5, man. And you die trying to celebrate a pagan holiday, man. You die for a day trying to exchange gifts. You dress yourself out over one day, man.
Right.
And let me tell you something, I'm gonna blow your mind. You know that there's another day after, and another day, and there's gonna be another year. And you stress yourself out till you die over one day. That is the spirit of death right there, man.
Right.
You mean you value this day so much, you're willing to die just trying to buy gifts for your kids, man. Trying to buy a PlayStation 5, you can't afford, man. Now, I want to make it clear, nothing's wrong with the PlayStation 5, man. Nothing's wrong with the Xbox One Series or something like that. Let me tell you something, man. You know what I mean? I'm gonna tell you straight, I'm getting a PlayStation 5, man. I'm getting one and some games too, man. And on the weekend, don't call me because I'm playing it, man. I said it, man. That's what. There's nothing wrong with it. But when you're doing it for another God, trying to worship him on that day, then it is a sin, and the Lord will give you death, man. What was the other one? Oh, sorry. The other one. The stress and the overindulgence, meaning what, man? People become alcoholics, man, and they drink themselves to death, man. On one day, overindulgence, man. They couldn't leave the rum alone, man. Couldn't leave the Bacardi and the rocks alone, man. And because of guess what? They had too much and they died, man. If you drink beyond what you can handle, you can die of it, man. And guess what? They done it all on one day to serve another God, man. And guess what? They're realizing it that out of these 3 days of the year, people die the most, and they're giving some reasons why. Reader.
Researchers think it's most likely to be due to the reduced access to healthcare and short-staffed hospitals. And there you go. And listen, they worship this day so much that what many people that work for the NHS, they have their days off, man. And the people that need help, they die, man. Why? For the worship of one day, man. Right. Look what it does. Look what it does to the death rate of the earth, man. Why do people choose death, man? They choose death. They want to partake in the worship of another God so much that they're willing to die for it, man. They're willing to drink more than they can handle. They're willing to dress themselves out, all for the worship of another God, man. Reader. People are more likely to die at Christmas than any other time of the year. A study shows.
So now there you go, man. This ain't the ISUPK's words. This is research, man.
Right.
This is information that is out there that on Christmas Day, people die the most out of any day of the year, man.
Right.
Reader.
U.S. researchers examined death certificates and discovered that people have the highest chance of death on Christmas Day, Boxing Day, and New Year's Day.
And they have evidence to back it up. So, of course, if you don't know, or you don't know, when you die, you know what I mean? There's a paper and they write the exact day you died. And the majority of them, they're on either of these 3 pagan holidays, man.
Right.
So it's nothing they're making up. They have the evidence to back it up too. Reader.
They found this to be true of people who died of natural causes, including circulatory problems, respiratory disease, and cancer.
Reader. No, sir.
Researchers from the University of California, San Diego, and Saket say the figures hold true for people of all ages.
And look, the people that have done the research are saying this is a fact, man. It's true. As people of all ages, man. It's something through their research they found out that, damn, people seem to die on either of these 3 pagan holidays more than any time of the year. Reader.
A study conducted in Britain this year also revealed people taken to hospital as an emergency on Christmas Day are more likely to die than they would be on other days, including weekends.
There you go, man. And listen, you can't fight with the research, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? If anyone else comes with anything else, it's an opinion, man.
Right.
It's not. Listen, these are researchers. These are people that took time out of their life to research this. Not you on the internet. These are people that, done the research. They were there looking at dates when, someone died. They done the hard work, man. And they realized that out of these 3 pagan holidays, people died the most, more than any time of the year, man. More than 362 days of the year, man. Just read the last bit, then we get into the Bible, man.
The researchers led by David Phillips, a professor of sociology, do not know exactly why people are more likely to die over Christmas.
And let me break it down. He don't know why, but we do, man.
Right.
That's right.
You want to know why? Because it's the God of Israel, man. That's why.
Right.
Why? Because the Lord ain't with you if you're partaking in pagan holidays, man. The Lord ain't with you if you don't keep his commandments. That's why. They don't know why. And they admit it. They know that. They know that it happens, but they don't know why. But guess what? We do, man.
That's right.
Why? Because we serve the living God. And with the living God, he breaks it down. If you don't serve me, then you chose death, man.
Right.
Read on. Shankar, you can pass by my phone as well. So, yes, please. Yeah, just get a bit more.
However, there are many theories. Some believe it could be because people experience more stress and sometimes more sadness at Christmas.
And there you go, man. So now, why are we going here? Because this is how you know people of death. I'll explain why. Meaning, around this time of year, it's meant to be happiness, the mirth, but it's not though. People are sad.
Right.
They're sad because why? They want to buy the son the gift that he believes he deserves, man. And they don't have the money. They're taking out loans. Doing all things, and what happens? They become sad, man.
God.
So if they don't die on Christmas Day, then what happens? With the days afterwards, they're in debt, man.
Right.
And they're sad, like, rah. I brought him this new 80-inch flat screen, and now I'm in debt, man.
Right.
I got the red letter, the bailiffs beat your house. You know what I mean? You did this. You know what I mean? And guess what? They become sad. And guess what? That same sadness to have is the cause of their death, man.
That's right.
You do that. You do know that it's a fact. You can be that sad that basically you can die of it. A sad mind can also be the death of someone too. Read on. Yeah.
What's that called? Like post-traumatic stress, something like that.
Not in this case. No. I do know what you're on about, but not in this case. Meaning, some people, they are depressed that bad that it can be the death of them. There's that sad, gloomy, and you can die because of being sad.
Right.
It can happen. Read on.
Andrew Meekham, an obituary writer, told CNN, we are always getting a slew of obits this time of year.
So now with this man, if you die, he's the one that examines you, and he's saying, listen, around this time of year, we get the most, man. So now, again, in the article, what did they say? They don't know why. Here's the difference between us and this article. We do know why, man.
Right.
We do know why. And you want to know why you need us? Because we got the answers for your life, man. You mean, if we wasn't here, you'll be celebrating a pagan holiday and dying because of it, man.
Right.
You'll be, I gotta get my son this. I gotta get this. And you'll be dressing yourself out, exhausting yourself out till the Lord puts you to death, man. You mean, look, and I want to make this clear, the Lord, he can take your life anyhow. So now, even these examples here, it's the Lord, man. You're someone thinking, yeah, but that's stress. Yeah, guess what? The Lord put that on them, man. So it make a difference. Kanye?
So here in the on the dictionary here, it says constant stress has been linked to a higher activity in the area of the brain linked to the processing emotions, an increased likelihood of heart and circulatory disease.
That's right. Let's get that hand, man. You know what I mean? Google, bring that up, man. And now you see what it does, man. Being sad, it can affect you, man. And it can lead to your death, man. It starts to affect your heart, man. And your heart is valuable. You got a problem with your heart, you need to seek medical help ASAP. And being sad and depressed because I didn't get the gift I wanted. I gave him the present and he wasn't happy. And you're sad. And guess what? That can take your life, man.
Right.
So you mean Fawada for that Hackian as well, man?
No, sir.
Any more in the article or pretty much? All right, Kanye, let's grab that.
I've written many stories about a spouse or a partner dying, and then you see the remaining partner die within hours or days or weeks or months. To me, there seems to be a correlation between body and mind here.
There you go, man. Why? Because around this time of the year, it's meant to be so happy. And when the Lord is against you and makes it sad, you die, man.
Right.
And now you could avoid all this if you don't celebrate pagan holidays, man.
Right.
You can avoid all this if you serve God. And like what we read in the book of Deuteronomy, you pick the life, man. Make sure you pick that life, man. Don't die, man. Don't die for what might make you think you're happy now, man. Because you're not. And how do we know you're not? Because the article says otherwise, man. If the article says, you know what I mean, everyone's happy on this time of year, then what can I say, man? But even they know around this time is that it's the majority of the deaths. Why? Because people are not happy, man. I'm gonna say something. If you don't serve the God of Israel, you ain't never going to be happy, man.
Right.
Regardless of what you buy, what you want to do, what you imagine, you ain't never gonna be happy. And how do you know? We got people in the earth that are rich and they commit suicide every day, man.
Right.
People got mansions, cars. They can go in a jet right now. And one day they're found dead in their house. And guess what? They harmed themselves, man.
Right.
No one didn't rob their house and they took their life. They done it to themselves, man.
Right.
Why? Because if you don't serve the Lord, you won't find real happiness. That is it, man. Any more on that? Or? No, yeah.
Dr. Phillips studied deaths among people with Alzheimer's, he found there were more cardiac associated deaths during the Christmas holidays and believes this could be triggered by stress in people with dementia who tend to be distressed by changes of routine. In a bid to look for others' explanations for the increased festive death rate, Dr. Phillips decided to investigate whether cold weather was to blame.
All right, so now they don't know the reason why. So he's saying, but around this winter time, you know what I mean, it does get very cold. He's like, well, maybe it's the cold. And come on, that don't make sense.
Right.
December's only 1 month. It's cold in October, November, January. That is not a good reason why, man. The reason why is because it's the God of Israel, man.
That's right.
It's the black man's God. He does all this, man. And now, why are we going into this? Why? Because there's many people, they're going to partake in this pagan holiday, man. They're going to, think, yeah, this is a happy time, me and the family. And let me tell you something, you're going to fight on that day, man. You and some family, you and someone of your family, you are going to fight in that same house, man. You are going to argue. You're going to get drunk and fight. And you're going to realize it's not a happy day, man. Right. By now, you should know why, because it happens every year, man. Someone gets, someone drinks a lot and they offend someone. And before you know, the house is upside down. No. You said this. I said this. No, piss off. Fuck you. Why? Because the Lord ain't with that day. Right. And the Lord will make sure you never have a good day, man. The God of Israel, he's going to make sure you never have a happy day if you don't serve him. Any more on that?
So one more.
Okay, yeah.
To his surprise, he discovered the increase in cardiac-related deaths at Christmas is lower in cold U.S. states bordering Canada than in those that border the Gulf of Mexico. The team then decided to look at whether festive eating and drinking was responsible. But they also had a discount in sake. But they also had to discount this theory as deaths among hospital inpatients also went up, even though their diet and alcohol consumption is regulated. All right.
So now the point being is they don't know.
Right.
They know that people die more, but they don't have the answer. Right. And let me tell you something, man. That's why blacks and Hispanics, these pagan holidays are not for us, man. We're not to partake in this at all, man. And you want to know something as well. See, you gotta blame religion for this right here. They've made us be afraid of everything, be afraid of vaccines, be afraid of pagan holidays. And let me tell you something, in the Bible, the God of us, he wanted to take us away from all that, man. Right. The reason why he gave us his laws and his commandments was that we don't be afraid like every other nationality, man. So from there, give me Deuteronomy 18. Deuteronomy, it's like, let me get there. Deuteronomy 18 and 9. I just want to show you something, man. So much things that we are afraid of. God in the Bible was always trying to show us not to be afraid of it. Right. And that's why he didn't want us to even take part in those things, not because they're real. It's because the Lord doesn't want us to be dumb like other nations, man. Right. Imagine this. A day, people wear themselves out over gifts, man. Yeah. People die for getting themselves in debt to buy a gift. That's how afraid they are. And let me tell you something. God, he took us away from that, man. The God of black and Hispanics, he gave us the wisdom to get away from all that. And in your own time, you can research it. All throughout ancient history, people always had the same pagan holiday, man. The Egyptians, they had it on the same day, the 25th of December. The ancient Babylonians, same thing. And that's why in the Bible, God's telling us, don't be like other nations, man. Don't be afraid of a tree. Don't be afraid of a day. You know why? Because they are. And really, that's what the Bible is all about, man. The Bible says we are holy unto him. We're not like them, man. They wear themselves out over gifts. You're dying, getting in debt over a gift, a present.
Mm.
And that's why God don't want us to be like them. So I'm going to give you an example in Deuteronomy 18:9.
Deuteronomy 18, verse 9. When thou art come into the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee, thou shalt not learn to do after the abominations of those nations.
And there you go, man. So now, what is the Lord saying? We shouldn't do the abominations of the nations, man. The nationalities, the other races, man. That's what a nationality means. It means a race.
Yeah.
And God's saying, don't do what they do. And let me tell you something. December the 25th, that's the abominations of the heathens, man.
Right.
Christmas Day is the abominations of the heathens, man.
That's
And
right.
God don't want us doing that. You mean the whole Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, Valentine's Day, all these pagan holidays, those are the abominations of the heathens, man.
Right.
And there's a reason why God don't want us doing this. It's not because there's something real about it. It's because it's foolishness, man.
That's right.
The Lord gave us wisdom that made us wise, man. And we left it to go and follow dumb nations, man.
Right.
To go and die over a day just for exchanging gifts, man. Read on.
Come on. Verse 10. There shall not be found among you anyone that maketh his son or his daughter to pass through fire.
All right. So now, does anyone know what this verse is on about here? Deuteronomy 18:10. You got the microphone?
Oh no, I ain't got the
Oh, okay, no, sir.
Yeah, so like if I could, passing through the fire in this context is talking about serving these false gods and finding the judgment. Also, they actually used to put their kids through fire in sacrificing to false gods, but at the same time, it's serving this false god and serving these things that are not of the Lord.
That's right. No. What you said was right. If you can, on the internet, there was an ancient Babylonian god, and with the image of him, he's got his hands out like this, and there's a hole in his gut. And what they'll do is, with the babies they had, they'll rest the baby right there, and they will set the baby alight, man. And they believe that for this god, if they've done that, he would bless them. So they sacrifice their kids to believe that they will get a blessing from a false god, man. Moloch, that's it right there. If you can screen share that, no sweat. So so we're gonna screen share with you a depiction of it, so that what it reads in Deuteronomy 18:10 to show you what it is talking about, man. So we're gonna get that in a second as well. No sweat. And again, why did people do this? Because they were afraid, man. You mean they believed in something that wasn't there, just like on Christmas Day. You believe in something that isn't there, man. It's a happy day, gifts, exchanging, and you do it, and it's not real. And likewise, you know what I mean? There was Africans and Babylonians, they did this, and they didn't have to do it, man.
Right.
This isn't real, man. You're sacrificing your kids and you're not getting nothing. Why? Because he's not real, man.
That's right.
And that's why in the Bible, God, he made sure we didn't do these things, not because it's real, it's because it's stupidity, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, imagine something is so dumb, and like now you have a son. You don't even want him to even partake in it. Why? Because it's ridiculous, man.
Right.
And that's why in the Bible, the Lord, he took us away from philosophy. You mean this might mean this? God took blacks and Hispanics away from all of it, man, and gave us his wisdom. So now you see, if you see all those square parts right there, that's where the babies would go, man. And the fire would just, you know what I mean, basically smoke the babies and end up burning them.
Right.
And they believed if they done that for their firstborn kids, they would receive a blessing, man.
So lucky, so if I could, this is also to prove that this is the star of Molech right here. This is the actual star of Molech. This is the star that they talk about in the scriptures. This is the star.
Oh, so that,
that's
so
the
that-
celebrity
five-
of Molech. Yeah.
So okay, what's that? The 5-point star you're talking?
No. Okay, it's not a star in the sky. You know what I mean? When it says a star, it's like a star right now. Someone who is rich, famous,
Right.
a star. It's not literally talking about like a star, because first off, even in the sky, a star, it doesn't even have 5 points.
Right.
A star is a hot ball of gas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's ridiculous. That obviously cannot be a star because stars don't have points.
It's lucky, sir.
You know
It's lucky
Yeah.
one. You know, when in verse 10 it says, there shall not be found any among you that maketh his son or daughter pass through the fire. It's like, yeah, it must have passed my mind. I didn't understand what that meant. Could you just repeat that, please? Lucky.
pass through the fire. All right. The point being is, all right, in Deuteronomy 18 and 10, it's talking about what you're seeing right here, meaning you're going to sacrifice a son onto this God right here.
Okay.
Pass through the fire, meaning that you're going to do this here.
Right.
What you're looking at right now.
Right. Can't. Oh, listen.
I got you. No sweat. So yeah, we can drop that right there. So now, what is the point of this? So that we don't become like them, man. On Christmas, you gotta be afraid. If you don't sacrifice your son, this God ain't going to bless you, man. God took us away from all that idiocracy right there, man. All of the foolishness right there. And that's what the Bible is all about, man. God doesn't want you to be bound by a philosophy, man. God doesn't want you to be bound by some ideology of man. God wants you to be free and serve him, man.
That's right.
And when you celebrate these pagan holidays, you are bound to some ideology, man.
Right.
You're bound to some philosophy of man. And even in Deuteronomy 18, you know what I mean? There was people that was bound to mythology, man. And God doesn't want that for blacks and Hispanics. Reader.
Quran Khan. Or that use divination.
Or that use the divination, man. Someone that divines, you know, in your life. You know, God's got a new car for you, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
If you give me all your money, God's gonna take care of all them problems. That is divination, man. That is divination. And let me tell you something. In the church, your pastor, your deacon, your deaconess, they are people that are divinators, man.
That's right.
And again, so now, why is God saying not to take a part in this? Is it because it's real and it works? No, it's because it's foolishness, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because what happens is some people, they read verses like this and they believe, you see, why doesn't God want you to take a part in this? Because it's real? No. God don't want you doing this because it's foolishness, man. And God doesn't want us to become idiots, man.
Yeah.
And if you think I'm making it up, as we read on, it will explain itself. Read on.
Quran Khan. Or an observer of times. Or an enchanter or a witch.
Enchanter, someone that likes to enchant, you know, you him this 8 times, you know, God will make this happen. Or an observer of times, man. Someone that's saying, you know, I predict by this time you're gonna get this. You know what I mean? God's saying, listen, you, the people of the Lord, don't do none of that, man. You wanna know why? Because guess what? With the God that we serve, he knows it all anyway, man.
That's
We don't need to do any of this, but as we read on, it's gonna explain itself. Read on.
Quran Khan, verse 11. Or a charmer, or a consulter with familiar spirits, or a necromancer.
Or a necromancer. That is a Latin word meaning you can raise someone from the dead. Necro means dead, basically. And you romancer meaning you're able to resurrect them. And guess what? God's saying, leave all that alone, man. Why? Because first off, none of it works. No one can raise someone from the dead, only except the God of Israel, man.
That's right.
Which you read of in the Bible and in history. But guess what? They can't do it. And now we're going to find out why God doesn't want us to even take a part in these abominations, man. Read on.
Come on. Verse 12. For all that do these things are an abomination unto the Lord. And because of these abominations, the Lord thy God doth drive them out before thee.
So imagine that all the Africans that was in our land before us. This is the reason why God got rid of them, man. You know what I mean? The Lord saw what they were doing, like this foolishness, man. You can't raise no one from the dead. You can't tell no one's time of their life. You mean they're like, this is dumb, man. And that's why the Lord got them out the land by the hand of the Israelites, man. Read on.
13. Thou shalt be perfect with the Lord thy God.
And there you go, man. That's why God doesn't want us doing it, because he wants us to only believe in him, man.
That's right.
I mean, if you believe someone has this ability about them, what are you going to do? You're going to worship them. Hey, listen, you mean you're mine, man. You mean you got to be with me.
Right.
And also that stuff doesn't work anyway. And that's really like in the Bible, a lot of the laws, what is it all about, man? Not being like other nations, man.
That's
not being dumb like other nations. Not doing things that don't make no sense. And guess what? When you celebrate pagan holidays, you are doing something that makes no sense, man. We read in the article right there. It clearly don't make no sense. People are dying. It's the opposite. Allegedly, you're meant to be happy on this day, but instead you're dying, man. You're meant to be happy and mirth and the family, but people fight, people die, relationships get ripped apart, families get ripped apart. It's the opposite. And that's why God don't want us doing it, man. Why? Because he gave wisdom, man. These nations don't have wisdom.
Right.
These nations, they got the understanding, and these nations love death, man. Even all this here, you killed your baby in fire, man. Your kids pass on your they pass on your legacy. You must love death. You must want to be wiped off the face of the earth, man. You must deep down love death. Like, really, I'm giving my kids that, I receive something when deep down you love death. I don't want no legacy on this earth, man. Your kids are the next generation of you, man. And you put them in fire. You burn them up. Shows that deep down, subconsciously, people love death, man. Deep down, while people say they want to live and they're so happy, subconsciously, they love death, man. All right, so we're gonna get into the second article. So for time's sake, we're gonna get into the origins of Christmas as well.
The Babylonian origins of Christmas tradition.
So now, like I said before, we got the internet, and many people know that Christmas Day has Babylonian origins, man. Damn it. There's even a web page saying it, man. People know it, but why do they still partake in this day? Because they love death, man. Consciously, they love to die, and they don't even know it. Read on.
There is a strong correlation between ancient Babylon mythology and the Abrahamic religions followed by billions today, and many of our traditional Christmas customs stem from Babylonian practices. Okay,
so now when it says the Abrahamic faith, of course he's wrong, and I'll explain why. What people like to say is, with the story of the flood, it came from ancient Babylon and many things like that. And of course you'll find it there because it happened. If the event happened, many people write it down. It's not that someone robbed it off someone else. Everyone wrote about it because it's a fact. So so what it is, some people that don't believe in the Bible, they read certain accounts and go, well, really, this is taken from somewhere else, not realizing that the event happened. And of course, many nations and their writers wrote it down.
God.
So some people, they believe, well, the Bible stole this, and that's not the case. It's something that happened, and the men of the Lord, they wrote it, and in their empire, whether it's the Babylonians, they wrote it too. Reader.
Nimrod, presented in the book of Genesis as a young mighty hunter before the Most High, was originally was the original child worship figure and regarded as a protective leader during his lifetime in Babylon.
All right, so start right there. So now in Christianity, now they use Yahweh or who they believe he is, and they use him as what? Depicted as a young boy. When really in ancient Babylon, that was going on already, man. That there was a young boy who was a protector. Now, of course, in the Christianity of today, they don't follow the Bible. They don't. But though a lot of the holidays, so-called, they stem from ancient Babylon, man. Easter, that's ancient Babylonian as well, man.
That's right.
Upon his death, he became the sun god, and his birth was celebrated around the time of winter.
So now in this day and age, it's the 25th. But even this man here, his birthday, it was also in the winter too. Reader.
In the time of the winter solstice, with great revelry.
And with what?
With great revelry.
Meaning they reverenced it, man. And they drank and got drunk. Just like what people are gonna do tomorrow, man. Reveling, getting drunk, one night stands, orgies. A woman who has a man for that one day might just, have sex with someone else, man.
Right.
But around this same time, what you're gonna see happen tomorrow, people doing that thousands of years ago around this same day, man. Reader.
Right. Also known as Tammuz,
the nativity.
The nativity of this sun god was conveyed and worshipped through
carved figures.
Carved figures placed in chambers to welcome the sun god, leading to the nativity manager scenes, manger scenes that still decorate churches and homes around the world at this time.
And imagine that, man. With the depictions that they find in ancient Babylon in the church, they remind them of that, man. So So you'll see like a boy and the sun around him, his head. You will find that in ancient Babylon, man. Right. And now if you're in like a church, you would see them same images, man, just with a white face on it, man. So the same thing with like the sun, people around him, just the sun being reverenced. Those are similar images that you would see on the church walls, man. Right. Showing you that Christmas is ancient Babylonian. Even the depiction of it, they were found in ancient Babylon thousands of years ago, man. Anything more in that? Also, stuff like if you go up a bit. So even that right there, through their excavations, they found that. Now, it may be a bit hard to break down, but inside the house, that's a man and a woman, and that's a cot with like a baby in it. And look up at the top, it's the sun, man. And you'll see that in the church. You go into any church, you will see something that is just like that, man. Of course, back then the art is not the same, but the depiction from ancient Babylon into the church today is the same, man. Right. Scroll down.
The winter solstice was a time of great celebration in pagan tradition, as it marked the beginning of the sun's ascent and new life to come. Green foliage and trees were heralded as symbols of Nimrod, as they signified the rebirth of the sun. Evergreen trees were decorated to honor Nimrod's eternal light.
And there you go, man. With that tree that everyone has in their house, this is the origins of it right here, man. So to commemorate his death with that tree, you mean it was something that they started to do to commemorate him, man, to remember him. And that's what you're gonna see. Well, damn, that's been going on from about 3 weeks ago, man. Everyone's got the tree, decorating it, not realizing with that, like with the tree they have in their house, that is of ancient Babylonian origin, man. It's not you. It's not just the imagination of man. This was going on in the worship of a man who died, man, who they looked up to. Slakia, someone has something online?
Slakia, no.
Okay.
And leaves and sprigs were formed into the shape of the sun. From these practices stemmed Christmas trees and wreaths we know and love to decorate so well today. And
there you go, man. So that is the origin. Meaning, if you go in someone's house with the tree and the light you see and with the light that you see on the tree, that's meant to be the sun, man.
Right.
You mean that light on the top part? That's meant to be the sun, man. Nowadays, people have it and it's like, you put the light on the top part. Really, that is meant to depict the sun, man. And people don't even know it. And guess what? For those that they are aware of it, they do it anyway. Why? Because they love death, man.
Right.
Subconsciously, they love that the Lord is against them. There's something inside man where they want to die. They want to do what they like, and it will lead to your death, man. And there you go. So that's the wreath. So let's make it clear. Wreaths ain't nothing new, man. Wreaths are ancient Babylonian in its origin, man. Read anyone that? Yeah.
Christmas is a magical time of year, and even as godly grown-ups, we must not forget that miracles can happen. And all wishes can come true if you believe they can. Our bags designed under the spell binding inspiration of ancient Babylon, carry the in extraordinary in the extraordinary act and equality. We all wish you truly magical.
Okay, yeah. So basically, even though this writer brought out the facts, he didn't see it as a big deal. But even in his research, he knew that this is a Babylonian holiday. He knew that this is very Babylonian in its origins. And that's the thing, man. God doesn't want us celebrating it. And how do you know? Because people die more around this time more than any time of the year, man. These pagan holidays, people die more than any time of the year, man. That shows you that the Lord ain't with it, man. The God of Israel is not with Christmas Day, man. It's not with Boxing Day. It's not with New Year's Day, man. God is not with it.
The noise. Is it just me? Or?
No,
there's someone playing some song outside the school. If you hear that.
I think it was like a feedback loop or something like that.
It sounded like the feed other one. It's gone now, though.
Okay. The feed's going out?
It was a feedback loop.
Okay.
Something like that.
It's gone now, though.
It's too up now. It's too up.
It's gone now. Okay, Most High in Christ. I got a question online.
Yeah, Khan. This so can Isaiah 1:11 be a precept to Amos 5:21?
No, I believe it's Amos 1:11 and Amos 5:21. Can I suck it? Oh, Isaiah 1:11. You're right.
I've got the other one, so.
Okay, can't.
Isaiah chapter 1, verse 11. To what purpose is the multitude of your sacrifices unto me, says the Lord. God, I am full of the burnt offerings of rams and of the fat of the fed and the fat of the fed beasts, and I delight not in the blood of bullocks or of lambs or of goats.
No, you can't use this one. You know what I mean? At this time, this is when we done the animal sacrifice. And you know what I mean? Of course, the Lord, he didn't just want that. He wanted us to obey. He's like, listen, I don't want no more lambs. I don't want no more rams. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't use this. Oh, sorry. It's asking if it's a precept. My apologies. Oh, okay, so this right here is talking about God not accepting our sacrifices anymore. So we'll hold that. Then we get Amos 5 and 21.
Amos chapter 5, verse 21. I despise your feast days. I will not smell in your solemn assemblies.
No. You can't. Nah, it's not a link. You mean, don't wrong, the verses are good, but no, that is not a link.
Slakia the one. Yeah, what are they trying to say? What are they trying to link this to? What's the meaning?
No, they're trying to just find
God,
like, from my understanding, they're trying to find out if it's a link, if it links up, but it does not. One's talking about in Isaiah, so like in Isaiah, it's talking about the Lord not accepting our sacrifices, and then in the book of Amos 5 and 21, mean that the Lord ain't with us on our East days. So you mean so yeah, you can't link that.
Right. Lucky other one. I think he may have been referring to verse 22. Obviously, it's probably in the same situation since in context he's referring to a feast day. But verse 22 mentions the burnt offerings and God not accepting them.
Okay, so like if someone can read the next verse 22.
Though you offer me burnt offerings and your meat offerings, I will not accept them.
There you go. Yeah. Slakia, yes, that is a link. If you read the next verse, then yes, it's talking about the offerings, and the Lord doesn't want them because we don't obey. Yes. So Escarin, yes, that is a link. So yes, you can use that as a link. It's like it's the next verse. I didn't 100% get the message at first.
So Isaiah 11 is a precept with Amos 5
and yes, so it's not. That's right, yeah. So it's the next verse. So okay, yes. All right then. Let's crack on. Let me get to my notes. So let's get Jeremiah 10 and 1. And there's something we need to understand, man. The same way people are afraid now of these pagan holidays, we was afraid even back then, man. We was afraid thousands of years ago. Where like you got people like, well, you know the origins of it, so why? They're like, yeah, but it's for the kids, man. I don't want my kids to feel left out. And let me tell you something, they are afraid, man. It's fear. They are afraid of being left out. They're afraid of being the person that goes, well, to me, it's just another day. To me, it's just a day off work. You know what I mean? They're so afraid they can't do that, man. And guess what? We were afraid of this same pagan holiday thousands of years ago in the book of Jeremiah 10 and 1.
The book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 1. Hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel.
So look, man. So now the Lord here to speak unto us, man. Why? I mean, for those of you that haven't read the book of Jeremiah before, in the time of Jeremiah, it was the Babylonians. They had us, man. They destroyed our land, and then they brought us onto their land, man. So now we're in their land, and what are they doing? They're following false gods, pagan holidays. So now the Lord had to send a man of God and go, look, Israelites, hear my word, man. Why? Because we was afraid in Babylon, man. We were scared. So what? The Lord had to send a man to just, you know what I mean, show us that we don't need to be afraid, man. Read on.
Thus saith the Lord, learn not the ways of the heathen.
So what's saying? When you're in their land, don't learn the way of the heathen, man.
That's right.
Just like in England, we are in England and we don't learn their ways, man. I'm not in no church. I'm not in no mosque. I'm not doing what they do. Yes, I'm in the land, but I'm not doing what they do. And that's what the Lord said to us, man. Even when we was in ancient Babylon, you don't have to learn the ways of the heathen, man.
That's right.
And be not dismayed at the signs of heaven.
And don't be dismayed. So that means don't be shocked in the sky like, look at that star right there, man. Why? Because again, in your own time, you can research it. When it came to ancient Babylon, they loved the stars, man. They loved the moon, sun worship. And God's saying, listen, don't be like them. Don't be dismayed, man. Don't look at the stars and think there's something wonderful about it. You know what I mean? All it is, it's an invention of God, man. It's one of the inventions of God. It's like, yeah, that's all it is. Ain't nothing mystical about it. You know what I mean? The stars, it was made, man. The sun, it's an invention. That's all it is, man. It's not meant to be worshipped. So you know what I mean? Unlike the Babylonians, don't be dismayed, man. Don't be shocked. Read on.
For the heathen are dismayed at them.
Why? Because with the Babylonians, and of course, not just the Babylonians alone, but every nation, they're dismayed at them. They're shocked. Like, look at that galaxy, man. Look at the blue beam, man. Look at this constellation. Look at this. And he's saying, listen, don't be like them, for they are dismayed at them. Read on.
For the customs of the people are vain.
And now we're with them. A custom is your way of life. You can look at the definition of the word, meaning what? Their way of life is vain, meaning it's worthless. Right. And we're gonna find out in specific what is it talking about. Read on.
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
For one does what?
For one cutteth a tree out of the forest.
So let's keep that in mind now. So now in their way of life, one thing to do is in a forest, there's a tree. Read on. They cut it down.
The work of the hands of the workman with the axe.
So now, with a man with an axe, he'll basically go into the forest and he will get himself a tree. But though, you know what I mean, if someone thinks we're trying to reach here, the next verse, it gets more specific, man. Read on.
They deck it with silver and with gold.
They do what?
They deck it with silver and with gold.
And they deck it with the silver and the gold, just like what people are doing right now, man. They went to, of course, this time an Axeman didn't do it, but guess what? They deck it with those lights, man, the gold lights and all that, man. It's the same way of life that the Babylonians had, man. The custom that the Babylonians had, people are doing it today, man.
That's right. They fasten it with nails and with hammers, that it move not.
So of course they secure it on the ground so that it doesn't fall, man. Just like what people do in their house right now, man. Read on.
They are upright as the palm tree, but speak not.
So now, why did it say they're upright, but they speak not? Because people thought that inside the tree, there was life. Right. People thought that, you know what I mean? Inside this tree that Nimrod lived in it. And what does the Lord has to warn us that, listen, this tree is nothing, man. This tree can't talk. And you want to know what's funny? The same way people are afraid right now, they was afraid back then, man. Shalom. Right. I mean, they was afraid back then. Do you see right now? People are afraid to not partake in this day, man. It's Christmas, but no, man. You know what I mean? I'm doing it for my kids. They are afraid. Back then, people was afraid too, man. They was afraid that with the tree, it had life. And guess what? In this modern day, people are afraid to say, I don't partake in this holiday, man.
Right.
You mean it's the fear that people had back then, they have it now just in another way.
That's right. It's like the other one, yeah, because it's like when you fear it or you fear the custom of the people which is vain, you are peer pressured to follow it or to take part in it or accepting it. You're now giving it life, man.
There you go. You mean it's fake, but because you're afraid of it, you're making it real, man.
Right.
And it's fake, but how you act, you make it seem like it's real, and it's fake, man. And likewise, a man of God thousands of years ago had to warn us, listen, man, it's a tree, it can't speak, man. It's a tree, ain't no life in it, man. A tree is dead, man. You mean once you remove it from the earth, a tree is dead now, man. Read on.
They must needs be born because they cannot go.
And they can't go, meaning you have to bring it around. The tree can't go. The tree can't get legs and walk. You carry the tree around, man. You put the tree in your house. It's dead. If it's alive, you'll wake up in the morning and find it in your house. But you never, man. You carry the tree into your house, and then you think the tree has life. You think, if I don't serve this tree, Nimrod's gonna come and kill me, man. Listen, that's nonsense. And now, with the Lord, He's not saying don't partake because it's real. He's saying don't partake because it's foolishness, man. Ain't nothing real about it. Read that.
Be not afraid of them, for they cannot do evil. Neither also is it in them to do good.
And there, man, this tree can't do nothing. It can't do evil. It can't harm you. And it can't do good, meaning what? It can't bless you. The tree can't do nothing, man. The tree can't do jack diddly, man. It can't do a thing, man. It can't do nothing. And guess what? Back then, when we lived amongst the Babylonians, we thought that with the tree it could do something, man. Until a man of the Lord had to warn us, listen, this tree can't do good nor evil, man. They carry the tree around. There is no life. So when you're in their land, don't do what they do. And what we're talking about, the 25th of December, man, Christmas Day, man. And the same way we was afraid of it back then, we are afraid of it now, man. And now, how are we afraid of it now? Well, if I don't celebrate it, I'm afraid of standing out, man. You are afraid of it just like our ancestors back then, man. Fear is fear. Even if it's in another way, you are still afraid of this day, man. And that's the problem that we have. That's the problem that we face, man. Read on.
For as much as there is none like unto thee, O Lord, thou art great, and thy name is great in might.
And there you go, man. He's like, listen, Lord, you're mighty, not this Babylonian holiday, not a tree, man. He has to let him know, listen, man, fear the Lord, man. The tree cannot do nothing for you, man. The tree can't do you good, nor evil. The tree can't do you bad, nor good, man. And he warned us. Why? Because we sinned against the Lord. So it was written that we would live amongst them. But just because we live among them, learn not the ways of the heathen, man. Don't do what they do. Don't partake in what they do. You know what I mean? Let me get my next verse. So now, the point I'm making is the same way people are afraid of a day is the same fear that stops them from taking a vaccine, man. And why is that? Because they love death, man. You mean we read an article on those 3 holidays, people die the most, and people still partake in these holidays. Why? Because subconsciously they love death, man. And likewise with vaccines, you meet people that I'm not taking that. Deep down, they love death, man. Inside them, subconsciously, they want to die, but in their mind, they think, I don't. Nah, man, I want to live, but really, you want to die, man. You're taking drugs. You want to die, man. Drugs kill people. Drugs damage you, and guess what? You take it anyway. Why? Because deep down you want to die, man. Celebrate pagan holidays where it's known that on those holidays have the highest death rates, and you still take part in that day. Deep down, you want to die, man. You sleep with escorts, man. That sleep with people all day, man. You mean you're just the next guy? You don't know what they got. You do that, you want to die, man. You don't know what she has, man. Imagine that someone's job is to have sex. And I'm sure before you rang them, they was doing it before. They was doing it the day before, the week before. So imagine that a year of sleeping with people, and you sleep with her too. It means you must want to die, man. You must want to die whatever she has, and subconsciously you want to die, man. And likewise with vaccines. Now, listen, we don't say you must take it, but a lot of the fear you see online is people that sin, and with the entity that they have in them, they want to die, man. That's all while it is. With the demon they have in them, they want to die, man. Matter of fact, let's get that verse in Matthew about have you come before our time. It's when the man had a demon in him, and when Yahushua came, he's like, "What? Have you come before our time?" You mean I said it, but I'm just gonna get the verse just to back it up, man. I'm sure it's Matthew 8 or something like that, but. We'll find that just show you that people want to die and they think it's them, but it's what is inside of them, man. It's what's in their mind, and you can fight it, man. You don't have to always want to die. You can come in here and follow God's laws and live, man. Fight what's in your mind, fight the fears, man, and live, man. You got it for me? I can't yet read
Matthew chapter 8 and verse 29. And behold, they cried out, saying, "What have we to do with thee? Yahushua, thou son of the Most High, art thou come hither to torment us before the time?"
There's now with the time. What are they talking about? The time that they make sure that you die, man.
Right.
You mean those that have read Matthew 8 before? There was a man. He was possessed, man, with lots of demons. And when Yahushua came to like, "What are you doing here, man? Have you come before our time?" And now, what time is it talking about? The time that they take this man's life, man.
Right.
And that's what many people have in them. It's a demon that wants them to die, man.
Right.
You take drugs, there's a demon in you that wants you to die, man. Right. And basically, when it's inside you, it's working on you. Get high more, do this, do that, till eventually you die, man. Till eventually you anger the Lord so much that you die, or you die from whatever you are doing, man.
Right.
Likewise, many people that are afraid of vaccine. Now look, I'm gonna make this clear. You don't have to take a vaccine. You can say no because you just don't want to. You can have a reason. But when you are afraid of a vaccine, that is a demon, man. Right. No one is saying you must take a vaccine. Maybe you don't want to. Maybe, you know what I mean? You want to see how it works on someone else first. That's fine. But when you are afraid of a vaccine, you have a demon in you. That doesn't want you to preserve your life, man. Just like what we're reading in Matthew 8 and 29, man. And it has a time to make sure it puts a work on you, man. Make sure it works you till you die, man. Reader.
And there was a good way off from them a herd of swine. It's like a herd of many swine. So the devils besought him, saying, "If thou cast us out, suffer us to go away into the herd of swine."
So now they said unto Yahushua, "Listen, if you want us gone, please let us go into this herd of swine." They're like, "Please, now when they went into them, we're gonna find out what happened, man." Reader.
And he said unto them, "Go And when they were come out, they went into the herd of swine.
Into the herd of swine, read on.
And behold, the whole herd of swine ran violently down to a steep place into the sea and perished in the water.
And they died in the water, man. That's the time a demon, it wants you dead, man. And that's something you gotta understand, man. When you're afraid, it's a demon that wants you dead, man.
Right.
You mean, and it's so funny. People are, you know what I mean, everyone says they want to live, but they do things that make them die, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you're smoking weed, you want to die, man.
Right.
You know what weed and tobacco and all those things do to people, and yet you take it. Why? Because subconsciously that demon's in you, man, and he wants you to die, man. You're sleeping with prostitutes and escorts. Lord knows what they have, man. It's their job to have sex, man. You know what I mean? Who knows what they got on them?
Right.
And you want to sleep with them. Why? Because that demon wants you to die, man. And likewise with vaccines, again, you don't have to take it, man. But if you are afraid of a vaccine, that's that demon that wants you to die, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So let's crack on. Let's get
Slacky, quick one. So the demons, the pigs died, but them demons, they would just be going into someone else, innit?
That's right, yeah. They're gonna, you know what I mean? They're gonna just get back to work on someone else, man.
Right.
They've done their job on the swine. Now it's someone else, man. And that's something that people don't understand, man. When you are afraid, it's a demon, man. When you're doing something that is taking your life, it's a demon, man.
One more. Because the Lord says what? He's not giving us the spirit of fear. So to have that spirit of fear definitely is a demon. Yeah.
I got a question online as well. It's from Hadassah.
So if you don't take the vaccine, you could get sick. Then you go in hospital and get better.
That can happen, yeah. But the thing is, you know what I mean? Again, you know, as what Commanding General YAHANNA said, some people, for some reasons, may not be able to take the vaccine. You know what I mean? Some people have a weak immune system where if they take it, it will just done them. So, you know what I mean? So there are different circumstances. Yeah, or have allergies. So there are circumstances where, for health reasons, some people could not take the vaccine. So again, you know what I mean? It's up to you. You know what I mean? We don't teach you here, you must take the vaccine. But when you are afraid of a vaccine, then that's a problem, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's up. We know where the real healing comes from. It's from serving the Lord, man.
That's right.
You know, if you do, if you don't, that's up to you, man. You mean knowing it's saying for you to be in here, you must take a vaccine. Nobody said that, man. And then online, people are so afraid. What are you saying? What are you not saying? And guess what? And then you want to know something? Once we read, that's that demon in them, man. That demon that doesn't want them to live. Where no, you should never take a vaccine. You know what I mean? And guess what? It's that demon that wants them to die, man. When you are afraid of a vaccine, then that's something else, man. That is different, man. But let's drop that. Let's get to Isaiah 41 and 10. Isaiah 41 and 10.
Isaiah chapter 41 verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee.
So read
Be
that
not
again.
dismayed, for I am thy God.
Slacky, repeat that again. Slacky.
Fear not, Slacky, fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for I am thy God.
So you understand, the Bible says we must not have any fear, man. Anything that we do as coming back to our heritage and the laws of our fathers, man, we cannot have fear, man. Fear cannot be a part of us, man. Nothing on this earth should if you are serving the Lord as you should be, you understand? If you are an I.S.U.P.K, you should not have fear, man. There should be no fear in you, man. You understand? Read on.
I will strengthen thee. Yea, I will help thee.
You understand? Because the Lord will strengthen us, man. Just like our forefathers, man, of aforetime. You understand? He has always shown us where, like David, man, when he was young, like Samson. You understand? Like Gideon. You understand? All these men before us, like Moses. You understand? All these men. You know what I mean? When Moses had to go to speak to Pharaoh, you understand? It was a lot for him, man. That's a king of an entire nation. Yet he had to go, and he had the speech impediment. And he still yet had to be strong and bold and fearless to go speak to Pharaoh, man. Because why? The Lord will help you, man. The Lord will give you strength. So, like, I'll pass it over to the captain.
That's in my hand. Yes, like, if you read that, just again, please, for me.
Khan. Verse 10. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. Be not dismayed, for
And there
I
you
am
go,
thy
man.
God.
And there you go. We shouldn't be afraid because the Lord is with us, man.
That's
Imagine
right.
that people are afraid of a vaccine, man. It's a needle. You know what I mean? And then what hurts the most is you take advice from people that are not doctors, man.
Right.
Inside that vaccine, they got pork and dead fetuses. And says who?
Right.
Says you. You mean you don't work for the NHS?
Right.
You mean in school you got D's and E's and everything, and now all of a sudden just know what's in vaccines, man. Or all of a sudden you just switched on when it comes to vaccines, man.
Right.
Listen, I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna tell you something in life. All you can do is go by what experts say, man.
Right.
That's life in general. If your car needs fixing, you go to a mechanic.
That's right.
You don't look at your car and go, no. My exhaust is fine. You know what I mean? I don't need this and that. That mechanic's gonna laugh at you like, well, you obviously don't know what you think you do. And likewise with vaccines, man. You are listening to people online that don't. That you mean they don't. They don't know nothing about vaccines. They don't know how it works. And what Commanding General YAHANNA done was an excellent breakdown, man. It went into the origins of vaccines, what is really in them, according to professionals, man. A lot of what you get, it's just internet theories, man, of what is in vaccines, but they don't know. You know what I mean? So all you can do is go by what experts say, man. Like I say, you know what I mean? You go to a mechanic, you don't know. You go to someone who does. Like, you know what I mean? That's life. We don't know the Bible. We're in the UPK. We learn from people that do know the Bible. It's life. Anything you don't know, you go to people that are experts. And likewise with vaccines, you go to the experts. You don't go some false, fake man of God on the internet talking about, you know, the vaccine's got pork in it. And if you take it, it's going to turn into a zombie and all crap and all, you know what I mean? All sci-fi, Hollywood, Marvel versus DC. You know what I mean? All that stuff, man. You know what I mean? And it's serious. You know, he's saying it like, you know, when you believe something like, it's got pork in the vaccine. And your eyes are like, if you take it, you're going to become a zombie. And, you know, they're going to behead you and eat organs. And his face is serious like, are you for real? You might want to listen to how you're sounding, man. Like, you know what I mean? It's like me saying, really, I'm upside down. And the FBI got to get me. You'll be like, Parasha, you know what? I might phone 999 for you, you know? I might phone 999 for you, you know that? I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And you would. And likewise, you should do that for him, man. He's a man, it's clearly something ain't right with him, man.
That's right.
Something clearly ain't right, man. You know what I mean? Let's get some more, man. Let's get Psalms 118 and 6.
Psalms 118, verse 6. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear what man can do unto me.
And there you go, man. When the Lord is on your side, you ain't afraid of what man can do unto you, man. Do you want to know why people are so afraid of vaccines? Because they don't serve the Lord, man. And guess what? And you will know something. They know it too, man. They know that they get high. That's why they're scared. That's why I can't take that vaccine. No, man. Don't take it. Because they're sinners, man. They're scared. And they know what the Lord will make happen to them. That's why they're so afraid, man. They're so afraid. Why? Like if you grab this one, it's not from it. You know what I mean? They're so afraid because they know what the Lord can do to them, and they know what they have not been doing, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? They know what they haven't been doing. And like anyone who doesn't serve the Lord, they're scared, man. They're scared. Right. So then now because they don't want to serve the Most High, they become afraid of everything that they see. The Lord's gonna get me, man. The Lord's out to get me. So you know what? Nah, man, I can't take no vaccine. I'm gonna switch my internet. You know that the government, they're here through your laptop. You know what I mean? They become scared because they know they're not serving the Lord, man. So now they become scared of everything. Instead of, if you serve the Lord, you wouldn't need to be afraid, man. You wouldn't need to be afraid of man like you are now. But because you don't serve the Lord and you know that the Lord wants you gone, you start to become scared of everything, man. No vaccine. You know what I mean? I'm gonna switch off my internet. They track your phone. They do this. They do that. You become scared. Why? Because you are a sinner, man. And you know that the Lord ain't with you. And that's why now you become afraid of everything that is around you. Every device that is around you. Every object that is around you. Why? Because you don't serve the Lord like you know you should, man.
That's right.
Read that one more time.
Khan. Psalms 18, Salakia, Psalms 118, verse 6. The Lord is on my side. I will not fear what man can do unto me.
And there, man, if you serve the Lord, listen, you ain't worried about what a man can do unto you. Now, you know what I mean? Of course, I gotta give you the reality of it. Does that mean just be dumb? No. I mean, obviously, if something is wrong, then something's wrong. But are you afraid, like, gosh, this and that? And are you afraid? No. You know that, listen, man, the Lord is over all, man. The Lord rules over all, man.
That's right.
You know what I mean? A man can't do nothing to me if the Lord didn't allow it, man.
Right.
Nothing would happen. If the Lord wants that for me, then so be it. But I want you to know this. If anything does happen, it's not because of man. It's because the Lord wanted it to happen, man.
Right.
Your man's devices and this and that. It happened because maybe the Lord wanted it, man. It's a test to see what you would do, man.
Right.
It may be to see your faith, to see what's up with you. And that's the problem, man. People get so afraid, man. You know what I mean? And what did Ty from Tulsil say?
Proper, true, and it's a lot of camps that are afraid. I.S.U.P.K is the way.
Let's get that a hand, man. I.S.U.P.K is the way, man. You know what I mean? It is the way, man. You know what I mean? We're not gonna tell you what you like to hear. We're gonna give you the facts, man. And that's the problem. You know what I mean? In a lot of these fake camps, people like to be entertained. And you know what I mean? What entertains someone the most? The Illuminati, man. One world order, vaccines. Listen, we don't do none of that, man. We give you what you need, man. Not what you want to hear, not what you like. And that's different, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, let's crack on and let me get my other verses before we're up on the time. All right. Let's get 1 John 4 and 18. 1 John 4 and 18.
The book of 1 John chapter 4 and verse 18. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear.
All right, so can anyone break this down? What is it talking
about? Hold on, let me get my faculties. Khan, if I may, Slakia, read that again one more time.
Khan. There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear.
Right, so, okay, my understanding of that is, if you fear the Most High, you keep his commandments, and that love casteth out the fear of, like I say, philosophies or anything else that comes along.
Give that a hand. That is it. That's on point. Meaning, if you're afraid of the Most High, you know what I mean? If you love the Most High, which is what you follow his commandments, then you're not afraid, man.
Right.
That's the problem. A lot of people that you see that are afraid of the Illuminati, one world order, they don't love the Most High, man. That's why they're so fearful, because they're getting high. They're doing many things in the Bible that the Lord says don't do. That's why they're so afraid. What if you love the Lord? You ain't afraid, man. Read that one more time.
There is no fear in love, but perfect love casteth out fear.
And there you go, man. If you love the Most High, it can get rid of fear, man.
Right.
Now, you know what I mean? I know I've gone in a lot, but at the same time, you know what I mean? It's love, man. I want you lot to know this, man, that, you know what I mean? If you serve the Lord, you can overcome fear, man.
That's right.
And it can be anything. We're talking about vaccines and, you know what I mean, pagan holidays, but anything, man. If you serve the Lord and do what he says, you can overcome any fear. And as we read on, it's going to explain. Read on.
Because fear hath torment.
It has what?
Fear has torment.
And when you're afraid, it's always, you know what I mean? Like, it's always tormenting you, man. If you're afraid in your mind, oh gosh, no, it can torment you, man.
That's right.
I mean, to be afraid is a horrible thing, man.
Right.
To be afraid, it is scary. You know what I mean? You can't have a nice life if you're afraid, man. If you're always in fear and doubt, it's going to torment you, man. And if you serve the Lord, you can get rid of that fear, man. You don't need to live a tormented life no more, man.
Right.
That's right.
That's the problem. Many fake Israelite groups, they are tormented, man.
Right.
They're so tormented that, you know what I mean? They don't even read the Bible no more, man. They're so busy in books of Illuminati and one world orders and vaccines and mind control and all things that got nothing to do with the Bible, man. Got nothing to do with salvation. Why? Because they got fear, man. And they are tormented. They're so tormented that they believe everything they hear, man. No, don't take no vaccine. You know what I mean? When you leave the house, switch off your phone because they follow you. So what, man? You're gonna follow me and get nothing, man. Right now, you're going to see where I'm going, and what? I'm not a thief. I'm not going to no weed house. What?
Right.
You know what I mean? I was in this house on the night. I slept. I woke up, went here, there. So what, man?
Right.
Big deal. But guess what? When you're afraid, it torments you, man. I gotta turn my phone off on my laptop. I gotta hide the camera part because you see, even when the laptop's off, they are watching me through my camera.
Right.
Like yourself, if I could.
What can I say? Yeah, can't yet.
Because what it is, they know that they're breaking the law and that anything could at any time jump out on them. You know what I mean?
That's right. That's right. That is it. Honestly, that's what it all boils down to. They're not following the laws and they are scared, man. So everything around them, I gotta duct tape the camera. I gotta turn my phone off. No vaccine, no this, because they're sinners, man.
Right.
They're afraid. And like I said, you don't have to be afraid, man. You come in here, serve the Lord. You don't need to know fear no more, man.
Right.
That's right.
You don't need to be a friend of fear no more, man.
Right.
But it requires action, man. Read on.
And Salakia, I was gonna say, like, as well, that their spirit is kind of like not sure what, you know, something else comes out and they go all crazy. They're not in one, you know, mindset. The mind is not settled. That's what I'm trying to say. You know what I mean? Like they just get bugged out. The mind's all over the place.
There you go, man. And that's a heavy point too, man. They're not like us. You want to also like, we don't waver. We like, this is it, done. For them, I don't know. Maybe this, maybe that. Why? Because they're fearful, man.
Right.
Read on.
He that feareth is not made perfect in love.
And now, what does that mean? If you are afraid, you're not really 100% serving God, man.
Right.
You're so fearful. Deep down, there's some sin in you, man, that is stopping you from achieving that perfect love, man. There's something in you that is not allowing you to love God like you should because it's a sin that you are fighting with, man.
Mm.
And that is the origin of the fear right there, man.
That's
We
right.
don't need to be afraid, man.
Mm.
We don't need to wonder and to worry and to be scared and, you know, this and that and this. Listen, man, you die when the Lord wants you to die, man.
That's right.
There's nothing we can do about it, man. In the Bible, which king was it? Hezekiah. He was about to die, and the Lord added 16 years on his life, man. You know what I mean? Only the Lord can make that happen. It's not about listen, we are going to die when we are going to die.
That's
So
right.
why be afraid, man?
That's right.
But though while you are alive, here's what you can do: love the Lord, man.
That's
right.
Do that, man. No one knows how long they got, but what you can do is serve the Lord and not be afraid, man. That's what you can do. I believe that's it on that. Yeah. That's it on that one. Let's get Matthew 8 and 15, I believe. Or it's the 7 and 15. 7 and 15 sounds about right.
Matthew 7 verse.
No, sir. Matthew, it's the 7 and 15.
Big interference on the line.
Oh, there's a bit interference.
Yeah, it's all right now.
It's just gone now.
It's all right now.
It's just gone now. Calm.
Okay, most are incorrect, sir.
Matthew 7:17. Okay, yeah.
7 and 15.
It's the 7, just 7 and 15.
Calm. Matthew 7 verse 15. Beware of false prophets.
And there you go, man. That's the Bible, man. Beware of who? False prophets, man.
Right.
AKA Rikashia, man.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm not the kind of person to say names, man, but you know what I mean? He started it, man. You know what I mean? It's a bit different. You know what I mean? Right. He's a false prophet, man. We watched that video on Black Watch. He said, you better leave, man. You know what I mean? Right. You got to go, because once we leave, it's going down, man. You know what I mean? If you don't take the vaccine, they're gonna behead you and take your take your organs, and they're gonna donate them to rich white people. This is what he said, man. And it never happened, man. He said that 8 years ago, and that never happened, man. Which means what? He's false, man.
That's right.
In the Bible, in Deuteronomy, what did it say about a man of God? It goes, how do you know if it's from the Lord? If it cometh not to pass, don't be afraid of him. Why? Because it came from his own heart and not the Lord's, man.
Right.
And that's what happened. What happened there? That came from him watching too much YouTube, man. That did not come from the Lord, man. That came from too much books in the Illuminati, man. It did not come from the Lord. That came from him. Read on.
Khan, which come to you in sheep's clothing.
And they come to you in sheep's clothing, man. All that white. All that, you know what I mean? Yeah, man, we're the gathering of Christ Church. And you know, salvation for all nations. It sounds nice, man. But guess what? It's not the truth, man.
That's right.
With the truth, it doesn't come how you want it to come, man.
That's right.
With the truth, it lives while it is. Right. You know what I mean? With the truth, it doesn't just fit your needs, which is a problem. Many people look at the truth like, it's gonna be what I expect it to be. No, man. With the truth, it comes with one West, it comes with boots, braids, beards, men that speak loud. That's how it comes, man.
That's right.
It doesn't come how you want it to come, man. Right. It doesn't come how you would accept it. It comes how it is. And you either accept it or you don't. Right. Meanwhile, a false man of God, he comes all nice. How you want him to be, but it's not the truth, man. Reader.
That's right.
Khan, that purple shit, Salakia.
Yeah, and that too, yeah.
But inwardly, they are raving wolves.
And inwardly, they are raving wolves, meaning, although on the outward appearance they seem nice, they are not nice.
Right.
That's right.
They are not nice. Do you know what this man done? It made people leave everything they had to go to Egypt and other places, and some died out there, man. Some, you know what I mean? It was struggling out there. And then you want to know what happened? When it got bad, he just said to everyone, leave now. How can everyone leave after they left their life to follow you, man?
Right.
That's the wolf, man. People left you. You mean everyone left their life to go? You mean be with you according to what you thought was right, and then as soon as things it never worked out. You were in America right now, and the people that you left, you said, "All right, guys, it's time for us to go back." How can you say that, man? It's your job to make sure they go back, man. Just opt and told everyone, yeah, we're gonna go back. That's a ravening wolf right there, man.
Right.
That's right.
You have destroyed people's lives, man, people's livelihood over you being sensationalized by the internet, man. Reader.
Quran Khan, verse 16. You, or Salakia, ye shall know them by their fruits.
And there you go, man. You know what I mean? Forget what they say. You know them by their fruits, man. By what they produce. And okay, then forget him. Look at the people that are in that camp, so-called. Their fruits are what, man? The world, man.
Right.
You mean they don't serve God? You know them. Now, why are they like that? Because he's like that, man.
Right.
I mean, in the UPK, we are the way we are because Commanding General YAHANNA's that way, man.
That's right.
And likewise, with them, they are the way they are because he's that way. You know what I mean? I've watched lots of video of like the people that they returned and they left. And what was happening where there was, you know what I mean? People were having sex with women saying, I don't want her to be my wife. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, man, I fell. Listen, here, you sleep with a woman, she's your wife, end of, man.
Right.
That's right.
You mean they were having sex with women and then making an excuse, I fell, man, but I don't want her to be my wife and all that stuff, man. You wanna know why? Because he's like that, man.
Right.
And he allowed it. He didn't go, no, that's your wife. Listen, I mean, if you don't accept this, you gotta go. He allowed it. Why? Because most likely he's doing that too, man.
Right.
And you know them by their fruits. You know them by what they produce, man. Read on.
Quran Khan. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs or thistles? Even so, every good tree bringeth forth good fruit, but a corrupt tree bringeth forth evil fruit.
And there you go, man. You know people by their fruits, man. So if you don't believe me, just look at the works, man. Look at what we do and look at what they do, man.
Right.
Look at what happens amongst them that does not happen among us, man. We showed you the fruits that we have in the contrast of the fruits that they have, man.
God.
They don't serve the God of Israel. They serve themselves, man. They serve themselves and they're mixing the Illuminati with the New World Order. You know what I mean? They care more about that than the Bible, man. They care more about the world elites than the Bible, man. And that's the problem. All right. What time is it? All right. So yeah, read on.
Quran Khan. Verse 18. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruit, neither can a corrupt tree bringeth forth good fruit.
And there you go, man. Meaning, if something is righteous and it's good, it doesn't produce anything bad, man. In here, I mean, all we do is good, and that's why we produce good. Now, them, they don't produce good, man. That's why when they're around each other, they're sleeping with each other. They say, well, I don't really want her to be my wife. I fell, man. I'm sorry, man. Nah, man. She can't be my wife and all that. Why? Because because they don't produce good fruits, man. They don't produce what is good, man. They don't produce what is right. And that's why you see what they're doing, man. They're acting like that. Why? Because he's like that, man. So that's the class. I'm gonna hand it over to priest and officer of 500 Shamgar.
Step it up.
Please on the seat behind you.
Alright, with the I.S.U.P.K. started out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Command John YAHANNA. Rule for a new brother and sister. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are here to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves with the world. If they need transportation, the teacher will arrange it. After 6 months, if a brother or sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother and sister will court each other. After this 6 month period, the brother and sister will get permission from the head to marry. Tithes, which is a commandment. Numbers 18:21, Malachi 3:8 to 10 means 10%. Means tenth in the Hebrew ma'ashara. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you. Give to the Treasury Department of teacher priest fund, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations is Purim, which will be in February. You understand? Which will be held at 394 Lodge Road. You understand? All Akim and Akwaf check the bulletin board in the hallway to check all I.S.U.P.K social media. If anyone wants to become a trooper in the school, start wearing all black boots, shirt, pants, and headband and scarf. And with that, I imagine. Courtesy salute to the teacher, I imagine if she's to stand. I imagine. Barak, Yahweh God Hashem, Yahweh Shai Barak.
Shai Barak.
That's a matah. Psalm, if she's to turn. I imagine Shabbat. I imagine Barak, Yahweh Shabbat Alatah, Hashem Yahweh Shai. That's a matah. Class dismissed.